Feud is about the legendary feud between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford.
There's a lady here to see you.
Who is it?
Joan Crawford.
You're kidding me. Bette, Joan.
We go back to the 30s when they first began to be pitted against each other by the studio system, but really came to a boil in 1962 when they made a horror classic called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
You gotta keep them at each other's throats.
I want her gone.
I won't do it.
Then I'm going home sick.
I think they had a lot of anger about how the studio system had treated them and thrown them away, and that they were not properly compensated as their male counterparts were. And instead of coming together, they put all that anger and antagonism into each other. And that's the tragedy of the story.
They didn't actually need a reason to hate each other. It was chemical.
You and I share equal billing on this.
I'm not sharing stick with you.
There's room for both of you to succeed.
In this town, are you nuts?
It's about very modern topics with women, even though it is a period piece. Ageism, sexism, pay discrepancies from men.
No one's looking to cast women our age.
We worked really hard on leaning into the emotion of the story, but it looks great. The clothes are great, production design, the cars. The world is such a fantasy that is gone forever. The last gasp of the studio system. When we were recreating the scenes from the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, we found furniture that they used in that movie under 50 years of dust in a prop house. For Jessica and Susan, I think it was just great to have something that you're playing with in those scenes that Bette and Joan sat on, touched, was a part of their lives. So when you see the show, that's really the stuff. I got to sit with Bette Davis for 4 hours, literally in the last month of her life, I believe. She spoke highly of Joan Crawford, actually, at the end of her life, saying, I took her for granted. She knew her lines, she knew my lines. She was always a pro. And in fact, the last line of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is, I mean, all this time we could have been friends. She felt that pain and she felt that regret.
I'm gonna steal this picture right out from under your nose.
You can feel the hate steaming off the screen. And cut. Bette, cut. Cut!
She did that on purpose.
I barely touched her.
Jesus.
Did you get it?
You really love them when you're watching the show. You love Bette and you love Joan, and I think you understand them completely as the dimensional women that they were. Never before or since have there been women like that, and I think that their lives were so larger than life that it's very fun to sort of catch up with them on an hourly basis.
Damn it, Joan! Hello, Bette.